Welcome to the CyberPatriot 17 New Coach Workshop. This workshop will cover important information for the 2024-2025 CyberPatriot season. CyberPatriot is a program of the Air and Space Forces Association, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. There are 7 different programs that CyberPatriot has. Today, we will focus on the National Youth Cyber Defense Competition. In addition, we also have AFA cyber camps for middle school and high school students, as well as programs at the elementary school level. In addition, we have cyber generations and tech caregivers to help teach senior citizens how to be safe online, and our alumni network to engage students once they've graduated from high school. Students learn a variety of skills by participating in CyberPatriot, including technical skill building, as well as leadership, teamwork, and creative problem solving. Now we're going to talk more about the different roles on the team. The first two are required roles for the team, the coach and the competitors. The coach is an adult leader of the team. They must be verified by the organization that is registering the team. One coach may have up to 5 teams registered to them. The coach is responsible for registering competitors to the team and is the single point of contact for competition-related correspondence. The coach must be present during competition rounds to enforce competition rules and ensure the team safety. The coach does not need to be technically savvy, though it is helpful. Competitors are youth members of the organization that registers the team. They must all be part of a common organization. They must be registered to the team roster by the coach. Each team can have up to 6 registered competitors. A competitor may only compete on one team throughout the competition season. During competition rounds, a maximum of 5 competitors can be active, and the other one acts as a substitute. There are also optional members of a team, the technical mentor and the team assistant. A technical mentor is an industry professional or somebody with cybersecurity knowledge who volunteers their time to help the team learn what they need for the competition. There's a flexible time commitment. Mentors may volunteer as much or as little as they desire. Experience with Windows, Linux, and Cisco networking is very helpful. They must be at least 18 years of age and complete a background check. A team assistant is a non-technical volunteer who supports the team. They help with administrative and logistic tasks such as scheduling, room setup, computer setup, etc. There's also a flexible time commitment, and again, a volunteer must be at least 18 years of age and pass the background check. There are 3 competition divisions within CyberPatriot. The Open and All Service division are at the high school level, and the middle school division is at the middle school level. The Open division can have teams from public, private, parochial, magnet, and charter schools, as well as homeschool groups, 4-H clubs, boys and girls clubs, scouting units, and other high school-aged youth organizations. The All Service division is made up of teams from Air Force, Army, Marine Corps, Navy, Space Force, and Coast Guard Junior ROTC, as well as Civil Air Patrol and U.S. Naval Sea Cadet Corps. The middle school division can have teams from public, private, parochial, magnet, or charter schools, as well as other youth organizations for middle school students. There is a small fee associated with participating in CyberPatriot. The Open division has a registration fee of $225 per team, the middle school division at $175 per team, and the All Service division, the fees are waived due to agreements with their headquarters. There is an early registration discount for teams registered before July 1st. There are also fee waivers available for Title I schools and all-girl teams in the Open and Middle School division. This is the competition timeline for CyberPatriot 17. As you can see, there are various important registration deadlines. We have a number of training rounds available, and then the middle school division and high school division have different competition rounds. We'll get into all of these deadlines very soon. How much time CyberPatriot teams put into the competition and practice really depends upon the CyberPatriot team. Some teams choose to meet multiple times a week, while others are only able to meet several times a month. See what works for you and your team and your schedules. CyberPatriot recommends that teams meet 1 to 2 times per week for 1 to 2 hours at a time. If that's not doable, you can also assign practice assignments that competitors can complete outside of their scheduled meetings. Now we're going to cover the registration process for CyberPatriot teams. First, let's talk about some important registration deadlines. We opened registration back on April 1st. Any teams registered before July 1st received a 20% discount off their registration fee. October 2nd is the last day to register a new CyberPatriot team. Competitors do not need to be registered at that point. October 23rd is the last day to register competitors or move a competitor between two registered teams. And November 6th is the registration fee payment deadline. This is the last day to submit your registration fee payment, request a fee waiver, or submit a PO for payment. If you're new to CyberPatriot, the first step in registering is to create a volunteer account. To do this, you go to www.uscyberpatriot.org, click Register, and then select Team or Volunteer Registration. You are then going to complete all the fields on the form and click Register. You should receive a confirmation email after you have submitted the form. It may land in your spam or junk mail folder, so be sure to check that. You can then go up to the Competition Sign-In button in the upper right-hand corner of the CyberPatriot website. You will then log in with the username, your email address, and password that you created during the volunteer registration process. Note, you can do this even if you didn't receive the confirmation email. Once you are logged in to the competition dashboard, you will scroll down until you see the blue welcome box. From there, you can click Create Team to complete your team's registration. Please note that registering a team will automatically make you the coach of the team. It's important to also note you may experience a glitch where information does not appear on the dashboard. If this happens, simply sign out and sign back in, or try a different web browser. If you continue to have problems, please call CyberPatriot and we will be happy to assist you. On the team registration form, coaches should complete all information and then click Submit. It's important to note that part of the registration process is being verified by the organization that is registering the team. Team applications must have a verification official information listed. For school-based teams, this should be a school administrator. For Civil Air Patrol teams, this is a squadron commander. Please note that coaches cannot verify themselves. Once you have completed the form, your team information will now appear on the competition dashboard in this gray box. Let's take a closer look at what each of these fields means. The first thing to note is your team number. For the CyberPatriot 17, all of these will start by a 17 dash and then a 4-digit number. This is used to identify your team on scoring documents. When you're contacting the CyberPatriot staff, this is the identifying information you will want to provide. Then we have your organization name. This is the official team name. It's used on award certificates and can only be changed by contacting CyberPatriot staff. Then there's your team nickname. This is the unofficial name. It's used to designate between multiple teams at one organization. It is also used on award certificates and can be changed using the Edit Team option in the Options drop-down menu. Then there's your organization type. You selected this during the registration process and it determines which competition division and your registration fee amount that your team will have. This can only be changed by contacting CyberPatriot staff. At the top of the center column, we have team status. This indicates how far along you are in the registration process. A status of awaiting verification means that the verification official has not yet approved your team. Awaiting approval means that the CyberPatriot Program Office is doing a final review after your team has been verified. Approved means that all registration steps have been completed and your team is now eligible to compete. Then underneath that, we have the verifier information. This can be changed under the Options drop-down menu and then select Edit Team Information. You can also resend the verification email if needed by using the Options drop-down menu and then selecting Resend Verifier Email. Then we have the payment status. A status of not available means the team is not yet approved and payment cannot be made at this time. Awaiting payment means that payment has not yet been received and processed. There's the option to pay by credit card, view invoice PDF, or request a fee waiver available in the Options drop-down menu. Waiver requested means that a fee waiver request has been received, but not yet processed or approved. Waived means that the registration fee has been waived for that team. To request a fee waiver, use the Options drop-down menu and then select Request Waiver. Fee waiver requests are available for organizations with a Title I status or where there is insufficient funding for the team. A letter from the school administrator stating the Title I status for the current year should be emailed to info@uscyberpatriot.org after you request the fee waiver on the dashboard. CyberPatriot also grants all-girl team fee waivers. These will not be approved until after competitors are added to the roster. CyberPatriot accepts credit cards, purchase orders, and check payments. To pay by credit card, select the Pay by Credit Card option in the Options drop-down menu and complete the payment form. For a purchase order, email a copy of the PO to info@uscyberpatriot.org. Please send checks to the Air and Space Forces Association. We have a new address at 1201 Joyce Street, Arlington, Virginia 22202. Once payment is received, a receipt will be available in the Options drop-down menu. Finally, we show the registration amount for the team. Please note, the team registration fee deadline is November 6, 2024. All approved teams are able to register competitors from their competition dashboard. To do so, find the team you want to add a competitor to, then use the Options drop-down menu for that team and select Competitor Registration. You will need to provide the student's first name, last name, email address, and t-shirt size. You will also need to agree that you have obtained parental consent as well as agree to the Cisco terms. Then you click Submit. The competitor is then sent an email with a link to the competitor questionnaire. The completion of the questionnaire is strongly encouraged but not required for participation. Registered competitors will appear on the competition dashboard for the team. Competitors with a registration status of pending means that the competitor has not yet completed the questionnaire. A status of registered means that the competitor has submitted and completed that questionnaire. As a reminder, rosters must be finalized by October 23rd, 2024. If you need to change anything about the competitor, you can use the drop-down arrow at the far right-hand side of their competitor line. From there, you can update the competitor, which might include updating the email address or a t-shirt size. Delete the competitor, which will remove them from your roster. Or if you have more than one team, you can select Change Team and move a competitor between two registered teams. The Change Team option will only appear if you have more than one team, and the system will not allow you to put more than 6 competitors onto one team. You can only move competitors between teams that you coach. You can also resend the questionnaire email to the students. Now let's talk about how you find a mentor. Approved teams will have the Find Mentor option available on their competition dashboard. This will allow you to search for volunteers in your local area. Please note, there's no limit to the number of mentors or team assistants that can help your team. Once you click Find Mentor, you'll be brought to a page where you then have to select the country and state you want to look for a mentor in. You can also select the checkbox if you wish to include mentors who are willing to assist teams virtually from a remote location. You then click Find Mentor to populate results. The search results will then show mentors alphabetically by city. There are two types of volunteers: technical mentors who have cybersecurity knowledge they want to share to help train your teams, and team assistants who want to offer administrative support for teams. From here, you'll want to use the Contact Mentor button to reach out to a mentor that you don't already know. This will allow you to draft a message that will then be emailed to the mentor through the CyberPatriot websites. Once a mentor has agreed to assist your team, you'll want to use the Invite Mentor button to invite them to your team. If you're asking them to help multiple teams, you'll need to select each of the teams that you wish for them to help. An invitation will then appear on the mentor's dashboard. Once you have invited a team, mentors will appear on your competition dashboard for that team. A status of invited means that the mentor has received the invitation but has not yet accepted it. A status of active means that the mentor has accepted your invitation and is officially paired with the team. Mentors and team assistants can be removed at any point during the competition season. Use the drop-down arrow on the far right-hand side of the mentor line and select Remove Mentor to do so. Now that we've covered the registration process, let's talk a little bit about the training resources for CyberPatriot teams. CyberPatriot coaches, technical mentors, and team assistants will have access to the CyberPatriot training materials on the competition dashboard. These are PDF modules that provide entry-level explanation of the skills needed for the competition. This is the recommended starting point for all training and teams. Cisco Networking Academy is also available to all registered coaches. They should create a Cisco Netiquette account under the email address they registered with for CyberPatriot, and CyberPatriot will then grant them access to the CyberPatriot content course. In addition, Cisco offers self-paced courses that are available year-round to anyone. CyberPatriot also offers non-competition rounds to provide teams with hands-on training. First, there's the exhibition round, which runs from May 16th to August 30th. This is a demonstration to potential coaches, mentors, and competitors what the competition is like. Then there's the training round 1, which runs from September 6th through October 7th. This is an introduction to CyberPatriot, and an answer key is included in the competition images. An answer key is the list of vulnerabilities and detailed instructions about how and why to fix them. There are typically 3 images included in the training round. The sneak peek is a one-day test of the new competition software. The practice round runs from October 10th through October 20th. It's a re-release of the training round images to allow teams more time to train, but is critical for teams to participate in because it also introduces new competition alarms and warnings for the season, as well as tests that the new competition software is compatible with your competition setup. Training round 2 runs from October 31st to December 10th. These are new training images with answer keys available in the README file, and they offer intermediate level training for teams. Now, let's talk about the CyberPatriot competition rounds, or scored rounds. Let's start with competition preparation. The download email is sent on the Monday prior to the start of competition. This is where you have software download links and instructions, image download links and instructions, Cisco packet tracer information, and other information specific to that competition round. The Start X email or Start Exercise email is sent at the start of the competition round. For this year, that will be Thursday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. For the CyberPatriot 17 season, we will have the following competition windows available: Thursday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Time, Friday, 9 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time, Saturday, 8 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time, and Sunday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Time. For CyberPatriot 17, the middle school division and the two high school divisions will continue to have different competition schedules. The middle school division will only have 3 rounds of competition and have a later start. This allows more time for middle school teams to form and train. Let's start with the competition rounds for the two high school divisions, the Open Division and All Service Division. Round 1 will be October 24th through the 27th. All approved teams are eligible to compete. Teams will have 2 competition images, Windows 10 and Ubuntu 22, as well as a Cisco quiz and packet tracer exercise. Round 2 will be November 14th through the 17th. All approved teams are eligible to compete, even those that didn't compete in round 1, and there will be 3 competition images: Windows 11, Server 2022, and Mint 21, as well as a Cisco quiz and packet tracer exercise. Based on how the teams perform in the first 2 rounds of competition, they will then be divided into different tiers based on their skill level. Tiers are determined by cumulative round 1 and round 2 scores. Teams will compete in their designated skill level for the remainder of the season. The top 30% of teams will be in the platinum tier. The middle 40% of teams will be in the gold tier, and the remaining 30% of teams will be in the silver tier. Please note, only platinum tier teams can qualify for the national finals competition. Also important to note that in the all service division, these percentages are based on their specific service category. The state round is a standalone round where scores from prior rounds do not count towards advancement or awards. The state round will be December 12th through the 15th. All approved teams are eligible to compete, even those that did not compete prior. They are simply in the silver tier. Teams will face 3 competition images: Server 2019, Windows 10, and Ubuntu 22, as well as a Cisco quiz and packet tracer exercise for all tiers. Based on state round scores only, there are 2 types of awards given out after the state round: state awards, which are the first, second, and third place overall teams in the state, as well as tier awards. It's important to note that platinum tier teams will always outrank gold tier teams, which will always outrank silver tier teams. Tier awards, first, second, and third place, are also given to the top open and all service division teams in each tier in each state. Advancement to the semifinals is also based on state round scores. In the open division, the top 25% of teams in their tier advance to the semifinals round. If the top scoring team in a state in that tier does not advance as part of the top 25%, then that team will advance as a state wildcard. In the all service division, the top 25% of teams in their tier advance. The top 6 scoring teams in each service category will also advance. If the top 6 scoring teams in a service category do not advance as part of the top 25%, they will advance as wildcards. The semifinals will take place from January 23rd through the 25th. This is a 3-day only event with competition windows available on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Only teams that qualified for the semifinals are eligible to compete. Teams will face either 2, 3, or 4 competition windows depending upon the tier. Cisco Netacad quiz and packet tracer is also available for all teams. All tiers will also face the Boeing Cyber Physical Systems Challenge. In addition, Platinum tier teams will also have the CyberPatriot web-based challenge to contend with. Now, let's talk about the middle school division for CyberPatriot 17. Middle school teams will start with the introductory round, which runs November 14th through the 17th. All approved teams are eligible to compete. Teams will face two competition images, a Windows 11 image and a Mint 21 image, as well as a Cisco quiz and packet tracer exercise. The state round will run from December 12th through the 15th. All approved teams are eligible to compete, even those that did not participate in the introductory round. Teams will face three competition images, Server 2019, Windows 10, and Ubuntu 22, in addition to a Cisco quiz and packet tracer exercise. State awards are given after the state round. For the middle school division, these are based off of cumulative scores from the introductory round and the state round. Middle school state awards are earned by the top three scoring teams in each state and at-large region. The top 60% of teams, based on their cumulative scores from the introductory round and the state round, advance to the semifinals competition. The middle school division semifinal round will run from January 23rd through the 25th. This is a 3-day only event with competition windows on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Only qualifying teams can participate in the semifinal round. Teams will face two competition images, a Mint 21 and a Server 2022, and a Cisco quiz and packet tracer exercise. Now let's talk about advancement to the national finals competition. As a reminder, only platinum tier teams are eligible to advance in the open division and all service division. In the open division, the top 12 teams advance with the limit of 2 teams per school or organization or coach. In the all service division, the top 2 teams per category plus 1 wildcard team advance to the national finals. There is a limit of 1 team per school, organization, or coach that can advance. In the middle school division, the top 3 teams advance with a limit of 1 team per school, organization, or coach. For CyberPatriot 17, the national finals competition will take place March 14th through the 18th. This is our only in-person competition event. The event will take place at the Bethesda North Marriott Hotel and Conference Center. This is an all-expenses-paid trip for the national finalist teams, which include 1 coach, 1 chaperone, and up to 6 registered competitors. There are scholarship funds on the line for the top-performing teams in their 2 high school divisions. Now let's get into the technical specifications for the CyberPatriot 17 competition season. Let's first talk about some terms you need to know for the competition. A virtual machine, VM, or image is a virtual representation of an operating system used in the competition. During rounds of competition, teams are given several images of varying operating systems to secure. Host machine is the physical computer that the teams are working on during the competition. A unique ID, or UID, is a 12-character string of letters and/or numbers that uniquely identifies a CyberPatriot team. Teams must input their UID into the competition images in order to be properly scored. A checksum is a small string of numbers and letters derived from a digital data for the purpose of detecting errors that may have occurred during the download process. Checksums that do not match indicate an error in the downloaded file. You should re-download the file if you receive an error. A whitelist is a list of trusted entities that can include email addresses, domain names, or IP addresses that have been granted access to a network or system by an IT administrator. Teams are required to have a 64-bit host computer and operating system for the CyberPatriot 17 season. They will need processors made after 2011 or later. They will need to have virtual extensions enabled in the BIOS, have at least 8 gigabytes of RAM, 40 gigabytes of free disk space, and an XGA or higher display. And 1280 by 1024 is recommended. Teams will need to have a 64-bit Windows 10 or later operating system that's capable of running VMware Workstation Pro 17.5.2. Mac and Linux operating systems may be used, but at the team's own risk. Any issues resulting from their use are not grounds for appeal or special consideration. And in addition, CyberPatriot cannot help you troubleshoot any issues that arise from using these operating systems. Teams with non-Windows operating systems should have at least one Windows computer that meets the technical specifications available for the competition. WinMD5 is software used to verify the checksums of the images to ensure that they were fully downloaded without any errors prior to the start of competition. 7-Zip is the software needed for unzipping the images after they have been downloaded for the competition. Teams will need to have VMware Workstation Pro for Windows. This is what is used to play the competition images once they have been unzipped. The official version of VMware for CyberPatriot 17 will be VMware Workstation Pro 17.5.2. Earlier versions of VMware Player are available, but issues stemming from their use of these versions are not grounds for appeal. Teams also need to have Cisco Packet Tracer software available. This is used for the Cisco Netacad Challenge and can be downloaded from the user account at netacad.com. The official version of Cisco Packet Tracer for CyberPatriot 17 will be 8.2.2. CyberPatriot teams will need a DSL or faster network connection. The most common issue encountered by teams during the competition is network traffic being blocked by a school firewall, filter, or proxy server. All teams will need outbound access to HTTP on port 80 and HTTPS on port 443. Website access requirements should be whitelisted if they cannot be accessed through school or organization computers. Connection test software is also available to see if a connection to the scoring engine can be established. This allows teams to troubleshoot the connection issues prior to the start of a competition round. Please work with your organization's IT staff to ensure all hardware, software, networking, and website access requirements are met. Teams will need access to the following websites for use in the CyberPatriot competition. These are what your IT administrator should whitelist for you if you cannot access them through the school network. Now, let's walk through the steps of downloading and opening a competition image. Download instructions contain the links to download images. The download instructions for non-competition or practice rounds are emailed at 9 a.m. on the day the event starts. Download instructions for scored competition rounds are sent the Monday before the competition round begins. As a reminder, only coaches will receive the download instructions. A coach alternate may be designated by the coach or verification official for a competition round or non-competition round. Please see the CyberPatriot Rules Book for how to designate a coach alternate. This is what a download instructions email looks like. There you'll want to scroll down until you get to the software installation and image download section. You'll then click on download instructions. This is a PDF with a step-by-step instructions on how to download and open a virtual image. Below the download instructions button is the image information button. This will take you to a PDF with the image download links. You'll want to copy and paste the link for the image into your web browser URL bar to download. After downloading the image file, use WinMD5 to verify the checksum. To do so, you'll open WinMD5. You'll then drag and drop the downloaded image file into the WinMD5 window or use the Browse button to select the file. Once WinMD5 has calculated the checksum of the zipped downloaded file, copy and paste the checksum provided by the CyberPatriot Program Office in the download email into the lower text field. Then click Verify. If the checksums matched, you're all set. Your images can be unzipped and extracted. If the checksums do not match, it's possible that your downloaded file is corrupted and you'll need to download the images again. Remember, the checksum is run on the zipped file. Make sure you haven't already unzipped the file and that you're not using that. That will calculate a different checksum. The extraction password is sent in the StartX email. This is sent at the start of the competition round. You will not be able to unzip the images until the start of the competition round. 7-Zip is the standard extraction software for CyberPatriot. To extract an image, you'll want to right-click the zipped downloaded file and then click 7-Zip, then select Extract Here. You'll then enter the extraction password exactly as it appears or is provided in the StartX email. Please note, the extraction password is not your team's UID or unique identifier. This is what a properly extracting file looks like. It should take a few minutes to fully extract the file. If the process only takes a few seconds, the password is probably not correct. Unzipped files will appear in your selected location. Note that the unzipped or extracted file does not have a .zip extension. A common rookie mistake is to try and open the zipped file. We recommend unzipping an image file into a folder with a unique name, such as the color, so that you can easily find the unzipped image. VMware Workstation Pro is the standard image player for CyberPatriot. To open an image, you will open the VMware Workstation Pro and then click Open a Virtual Machine. You will then locate the image folder that you unzipped and extracted previously and select Open. It will not have a .zip extension. Select the VMware Virtual Machine image file and select Open. You will then click Play Virtual Machine. Note that the competition time begins when you do this initial step. There's no sneak peeks or ensuring that the image is set up correctly. Once you open a competition image, your competition time has started. When opening an image, if you are prompted, please select I copied it and the virtual machine will open. You may also be prompted with pop-ups regarding removable devices and software updates. If those appear, click OK and remind me later. Upon opening a CyberPatriot competition image, you will need to read the CyberPatriot competitor agreement, check I agree, and click Continue. You will then enter the 12-character unique ID or UID. You will then click Apply and OK. To find your team's unique ID, go to the competition dashboard. You will then see it listed for each team. The unique ID is a 12-character string that uniquely identifies your team for the scoring server. Your UID should be treated like a password. Do not share it with other people or other teams. Correct unique IDs must be entered on competition day. After setting your unique ID, you'll then want to open the README file. This file offers the scenario for the competition round and provides competition information and hints. Teams should read this once the image is open. This is an example of what a README file looks like. It has the competition scenario as well as information for that specific operating system. It also gives a list of authorized administrators and users and their current passwords. Another important feature on a competition image is the scoring report. The scoring report shows you the team's performance during that competition round, as well as other information like how long the team's been competing, their score, their penalties, and their connectivity status. There's an icon on the desktop of the virtual machine to the CyberPatriot scoring report. Teams are given 4 hours to compete in the CyberPatriot competition. Before the conclusion of the team's 4-hour competition period, they will need to shut down an image using the stop scoring feature. This sends one final report to the server and ensures that any last-minute changes have been sent. There are certain image security settings that will cause the stop scoring button to malfunction. In the event your team receives an error when using the stop scoring button, you need to suspend the image using the following steps. You will click the player dropdown, then click power, then click suspend guess, then yes on the pop-up. Shut down or restart the host machine and do not reopen the image, or you may incur an overtime penalty. Please ensure that all images are deleted at the end of each competition round. Teams have 4 hours to complete all assigned tasks during the competition round. Time will start when the first image is opened in VMware. Only one instance of an image may be opened at a time. You cannot have multiple copies of the same image running simultaneously. Remember, CyberPatriot recommends one image per computer. A reminder on the competition rules. Teams may use notes and training resources during the competition rounds. All resources must be publicly accessible to all teams. You cannot use resources that required a paid subscription. AI and ChatGPT are also not resources that can be utilized during the CyberPatriot competition. If an image experiences issues mid-round, you may extract a new copy and start over. In that case, if you choose to start over, the team's score will revert to 0 for that image. Some teams choose to accept the score they had prior to the image malfunctioning. Now let's cover Cisco Networking Academy, or NetAcad. CyberPatriot-sponsored Cisco has generously donated the Cisco NetAcad Challenge to the CyberPatriot competition. Teams have access to 2 different parts of Cisco NetAcad. There is the content course, which is used to train teams on what they need to know for the competition. Then there is the competition course, which is used by teams during the competition rounds to compete in the Cisco NetAcad Challenge. CyberPatriot enrolls coaches under the email address that they are registered with in the CyberPatriot system for the content course. Coaches then create their own content course leveraging the Create Course button. Full instructions are available on the CyberPatriot competition dashboard. For the Cisco NetAcad competition course, coaches must create an email address and NetAcad account just for the competition. The team number should be included in the email address for easy identification of teams and score attribution. Content course accounts cannot be used for the competition. A unique competition course account must be created. Each team must have a unique account. In previous years, CyberPatriot created these accounts, but due to new verification requirements, we are no longer able to do so. Please make sure you review the CyberPatriot Rules Book available on the CyberPatriot website under the Competition tab. This should be done prior to the start of the competition. Many important rules governing the competition are covered in the Rules Book. If at any point you need assistance, please do not hesitate to contact the CyberPatriot Program Office. General questions can be directed to info@uscyberpatriot.org, and technical questions can be sent to our competition staff at cpoc@uscyberpatriot.org. Thank you all for your time learning more about the CyberPatriot competition.